Hello and welcome to Creatives Like Us, a podcast where we open up conversations about what it really means to build a creative career when you're Black or brown. I'm your host, brand and marketing graphic designer, Angela Lyons. In my guest episodes, I sit down with creatives who are out there doing the work, navigating the industries, and proving that there's space for all of us. Because the more we share, the more we see our stories out there, and the more we see ourselves reflected, and the more we realise we're not alone in this. Okay then, are you ready? Let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Creatives Like Us. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell people who you are and what type of creative are you?
Okay, so my name is Celestine Ekpenyong, and the type of creative I am, I think to put it in a word, I would say that I'm a storyteller. So I like to tell stories, and that comes out in different mediums. So sometimes I do that through poetry. Sometimes I do that through content writing if I'm doing business work. And sometimes I do it through songs. And that's my most enjoyable medium. But I just like to express myself and let people know my version of the world and how I perceive things. A storyteller.
I love that, storyteller. So is that your title, your official title as yet?
I think it would be my unofficial title, because in my life I've been a bid writer, a bid manager in my professional career for many years. So I've written a lot of submissions to try and win corporate contracts, which is always fun. But in my personal life, what I love to do is express myself through the medium of poetry and song mostly. So yeah, and I just love using my imagination, coming up with things, new ideas. So yeah, storyteller, definitely.
Brilliant. And how did you get started with storytelling? Was it something from a childhood age, or is it something you've discovered in later life? And tell us about it.
Sure. I've always been an avid reader. So I remember one of my earliest memories when I was young is that we had this bookcase at home that was in the study, and it was full chock-a-block with books, like from the top of the bookcase to the bottom. And I remember just thinking to myself when I was young, I think I must have been about 6 or 7, and I was thinking, I wonder how long it would take me to read all of those books. I just almost had this like early ambition to read all of the books. It was a bit crazy, but I was just fascinated with just completing that mission. So I started from the top, and I just started reading as much as I could, and I would read 2 to 3 books a week.
Oh wow!
And half of the books on the shelf was actually, there was like a children's encyclopedia, and then there was a more adult encyclopedia, and this was from Britannia.
Oh, I remember those. They used to buy them like once a month or once every 3 months. So they come knocking on your door saying, it's time for the next edition. And you're like, remember kids, this is how we used to read books and get books in our house.
So my parents bought the whole set.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And my siblings weren't that interested. They would read them now and again, but I had this mission. So I read all the childcraft versions of the encyclopedia. Wow. So that included loads of nursery rhymes. So that just exploded my imagination and just made me think of all these things. And that's what really ignited my love for poetry and books and writing in particular. So I started writing poetry when I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you do anything with it? Did you show it to people, or did you keep it to yourself?
I did. There was a few assemblies where I was coerced into standing up in front of a few hundred people in the school.
Were you quite confident of that?
Oh, quite nervous to start with, but it's one of those as you get on with it, you kind of settle into the scenario. And I remember one of my earliest performances in terms of singing there was this song that I was just fascinated by Rod Stewart. It's called "I Am Sailing."
Oh yeah.
So when I was just 11 years old, I plucked up the courage, and what I did was "I Am Sailing." I kind of changed some of the words because I had in my mind that I had this vision that I was a Viking, and
Amazing. Yeah.
I was a Viking, and I was sailing towards a new land to conquer the land, and leaving my family. So I am sailing towards. So I changed a few words, and anyway, I performed it, and I got a standing ovation. So
brilliant!
That was nice. Yeah. So that's one of my
That's
first performances, but I didn't capture a video or anything, so there's no record of it. Just my.
Do you remember
memory.
it? Yeah. Well, I suppose back in the days, no one had phones back in the days. Really, like
This
getting
was
all your mums and dads get their camera phones out.
Exactly. Yeah, this was early 90s.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So now, where you are now, is there something what's been your catalyst? What's made you go into what you're doing now? Because it sounds like you're elevating it now and you're really going for it now.
Definitely. My catalyst was 2025, because for some reason, I remember years ago when I was in a secondary school, and I thought to myself, I wonder what life is going to be like in 2025, because I used to love the film, Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
And it just really sparked my imagination that there was going to be flying cars and hoverboards. But yeah, so when it actually reached, and it was 2025, and it was really a moment for reflection for me personally. And I thought, am I happy with what I've put out into the world so far? And my instinctive answer was no. And the reason being was I've been writing poetry since I was 10 years old, as I said. So I had this physical book of poetry that I used to carry with me and have at home. And it was filled with over 60 original poems that I've been writing over the years. And I always said to myself, I'm going to publish these one day. I'm going to publish these one day. And then I found myself in 2025 still hadn't published the poems. So I said to myself at the end of 2024, I said, next year, I'm going to publish my poems. Brilliant. Because this is my legacy. This is who I am. And there's no point me keeping it to myself. Let's share it with the world and see if maybe people might like it.
I'm sure they will. And have you got it? Have you done it?
I'm pleased to say I have done it.
Brilliant.
I've got my first book, which I've got a copy for you.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
So this is your copy of my first book. Tell me how you feel.
Tell me how you feel. Brilliant. I love the cover design.
Thank you.
Cover design on top is a tree, an autumnal tree, and below is a black man's face, quite silhouetted. And also I noticed it doesn't actually say your name.
No,
so why is that, and what's that about? Could you tell us? And also, before we go any further, yes, I'd love for you to read something or something. Could you select something to read out?
Definitely,
yeah?
I can.
Okay,
I can.
But tell me why you've got your name. So Eo, Mercurial, yes. Orion. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So a few things. So the reason behind the name is because I always imagined myself as a mysterious African poet. And I could have gone with my name, but it didn't have that mystery enough for me. So I wanted to have an author personality that held the weight of that mystery. And for me, the EMO initials encapsulated what I had as a vision for myself as a poet. So the history behind the name is Ao is actually one of my middle names. Okay. So I think that's a good reason to start with Ao. Mercurial, because I am mercurial.
What does that mean?
like you're interchangeable. Yeah. You're like unpredictable. One day you'll be this way, another way you'll be that way.
Okay.
So that's the mercurial element. So I thought that had to go in there. And then Orion, which the origin of Orion actually means flight,
right?
To take off. So I felt like with this first book. This is me taking off
Fantastic.
into the world. And to encapsulate all of it, the theme of my poetry is emotions. So the initials are emo.
Emo.
Because I write emotional poetry.
That is so fantastic. You really thought about this.
I've thought about it for a long time.
Like people like write a book of poetry, say by Angela Lyons. So this is my book of poems. This is really well thought out.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
amazing.
Because I wanted it to be very clear and plain for people to understand. This is my process. This is what I'm thinking of, and I really.
You feel
really
proud?
I
feel proud for you because I just feel like it's like you've been doing this pretty much all your life, and it's actually the process is here in the book, and it's out.
I didn't cry, but I felt like I could have. Like that's how much it meant to me, because it's a project that's like 30 years, 3 decades.
Yeah.
I've been carrying the weight, and my family and my good friends that know me keep on saying to me, when are you going to release?
Have you done it yet?
When are you going to release? And I'm saying soon, next year. And then I've finally done it.
Brilliant.
And
I love
really
it.
happy.
And I love the cover design. I love the design of the book. Is there anything you'd like to?
Definitely, yeah. I've got so many. I've got a few, quite a few favorites in here. But I'm going to read you Cheerios. There's no rhyme or reason why I can't start my day without plowing through a bowl of those yummy, scrummy Cheerios. Golden rings that bring me cheer, floating light in milk so dear. Every bite's a sweet embrace, morning joy I can't replace. Okay.
Oh,
so
lovely.
This one's short and sweet, but I actually wrote it as a song that I used to sing with the kids.
Oh, did you? Oh, sweet. Is this to make them eat their breakfast?
Exactly. Just to a bit of encouragement, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how I sing it. There's no rhyme or reason why I can't start my day without plowing through a bowl of those yummy, scrummy Cheerios. Golden rings that bring me cheer, floating light in milk so dear. Every bite's a sweet embrace, morning joy I can't replace.
I wasn't expecting that. That's the first time I've heard you sing. And like,
there you go.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
Your
it.
children must have thought, who is this singer? Am I making me eat my Cheerios?
So
wow.
yeah, so a lot of the poems in here are songs.
so cool.
So that's part of my creative outlet, that I write them down first, and then sometimes actually the songs come to me first, and then I adapt it and put it.
And then put a melody onto it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm actually outstanding. I'm just like, I really wasn't expecting that.
There's a few more. There's quite a few more.
Okay, read me one about, if you can, if it's easy to find, about you and your family and business, the man you are today. Have you got something around?
Oh, okay.
Is that quite tricky?
So the man I am today. Okay. So there's quite a heartfelt one here. It's not a song.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote this as one of the last poems in the book. And just to explain this, so sometimes I have this process that I speak to people about, and it's about thinking about the end in the beginning. And what I mean by that is I always try and carry myself with the thought process of, how do I want people to remember me? What is the impact that I want to leave after I've interacted with people?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I lead with that, then that will steer me in the right direction, as opposed to me going down the wrong path or being unsure about things. Because I start off by thinking how I want you to feel at the end of our interaction. And so remember me, it's about me sitting down, taking stock of what I've done, what I haven't done, what I plan to do, what I intend to do, most importantly, and how I would like my family, immediate family, and my good friends to remember me. So,
nice.
Without further ado,
Lovely.
remember me. And yeah, this was quite the one to write for me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Good.
Okay, so remember me. The lessons, the lucent, lofty laughter, the moments, the merry, musical musings, the smiles, the sunny, shadeless scenes, the joy, the joyous, jubilant jumps, the dreams, the diverse, definitive details, the hopes, the humble, heartwarming heights, the bonds, the bold and boundless blessings, the love, the lasting, luminous light, the steps, the steady, soaring strides, the paths, the peaceful, purposeful pursuits, the truths, the timeless tales of triumph, the flames, the fierce and fervent fire, the stars, the sparkling, sleepless skies, the nights, the nurturing, nostalgic notes, the days, the delightful, dutiful deeds, the calls, the clear, compelling chords, the songs, the soothing, sacred symphonies, the winds, the well-earned, worthy wisdom, the dancing, the daring, dazzling dalliance, the life, the lasting, loving legacy I leave. Remember me, the heart that held you, the voice that lifted, the love that stayed, the soul that soared with unbound courage. In every step, I'll walk beside you on your way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So basically, I wrote that so almost like not to be, too sad, but I wrote that almost like as something that my kids could read.
Do you know
when I pass?
It sounds like a eulogy to me.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're about to go,
Yeah.
or you have gone, and
Yeah.
you're expressing yourself. You're doing it yourself,
Yes.
but you want somebody to read it on your behalf for you,
Yes.
maybe, or to feel your presence in the room. So that's quite goosebumpy too. Yeah.
So it was quite sad, but I just think because I've lost a few people close to me over the years, and it made me think that sometimes we wait until it's too late to express what people mean to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought leaving this is almost like a love letter to my family and loved ones, and they can know some of my thoughts.
Yeah. And, you've left a legacy too. Yeah. You've left that book as a legacy.
Yeah.
So is there going to be another book?
Yes. I'm actually currently writing the second one.
Are you?
I'm about 30 poems in.
Oh, wow.
So
brilliant.
Almost about halfway.
Brilliant.
So the plan is, exclusive, the plan is, so this starts in autumn, so the autumn of my life. The next one is going to be winter. The next one is going to be spring. And then we finish in summer.
Oh, nice. So that means there's 4 books.
Definitely, yeah.
There's
four poem
books. Okay. So we've spoke about
four anthologies.
Yeah. So we've spoke about the poetry.
Yes.
So that's again brilliant, wonderful, and thank you for the song too. As I said,
No
I was
worries.
just blown away by that.
Okay.
But what's next? And what are you up to right now? Is there?
So what am I not up to?
In your creative world, because I know what you do your day to day, what you have to do the bread and butter and the business end of things. But what's the other? Because I know you've got a lot of creative outlets going on. So
definitely, yeah.
So what's next?
So one of the key things that's keeping me busy at the moment is a channel that I've got called 50 Before 50, and this is an Instagram channel that is focused on helping me to achieve certain key life goals before I reach that magic number. And I actually started this during COVID, and I'll hold my hands up and say, I did start it as 40 before 40, but I didn't quite achieve all the goals. So I extended it a little bit. So as I have a bit more time to do everything. But essentially what my motivation around the channel is to inspire people to know that it's never too late to
True.
start to achieve the
Mm-hmm.
things that you want to achieve, including your dreams and hopes and aspirations. Because I started quite late, but the headline goal for 50 Before 50 is for me to become a paper millionaire by the time I'm 50. And not that it's all about money, but I just had to have a headline, and that's the headline goal. So I'm doing that through investments and property, etc., and generally making money online.
Right. So is that what you mean by paper millionaire?
Paper millionaire. So in terms of, I don't have to have £1 million in the bank, but my net worth, assets wise, will be £1 million. Yeah. So, and only because at that point, then I'll be financially free, which will then allow me enough time and freedom to spend more time with my loved ones and to write more books.
What I noticed about that too, brilliant. What I noticed about that too is that you're doing this 50 Before 50, but you're actually telling other people how to do it too. So you're like bringing people along your journey.
Definitely.
Have you got, is there a program or anything, or people that you've got that you've bringing along? Because I've noticed that, because I was following you on Instagram and I've seen that. So is there any...
Definitely. So as part of, I'm keeping them separate just because I think like the journeys are different. So people who are inspired by the 50 Before 50 may not want or need to make money, but they might be inspired to I don't know, maybe say have a career change or maybe a relationship change or start a family, etc., etc. But what I do in terms of helping people make money is this, I've just got this insatiable goal of helping society to shift the gap between the uber rich and the poor, the people who don't have many, because the gap is too huge for me. So I'm doing what I can to try and reduce that gap. And so what I do is I have this series called M3 or M cubed, which is basically making money because money loves momentum. So making money online, but through having consistent actions online. So it's the money-making mindset, M3. And what I do is I essentially teach people how they can, with very little investment or no money, start on a small scale, but make a bit of money online.
Gradually build it up.
Gradually build up, and then start investing, however small it is.
Right.
And I had a Zoom session just last week where I was teaching people how to make money through dividend investing, because I've been doing that for quite a few years, and I've made about 30% on my money.
That's great.
Which is, I would say, like, what's that? 6 times better than what you can get on the average market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And you're teaching people. What else don't you do? So you've got the creative side with your storytelling, and then you've got the creative side of telling people how to make money. I love that. So definitely. And you're just, what else was there anything else that you want to tell us about that you do? I'm sure there's like, I even think there's like a podcast coming.
Yes. Yes. How did you hear about that? So again, this was just before COVID time, actually. I think I started this in 2019. But I actually set up a podcast via Facebook called The Opposite of Regret. And
love that.
What it was for me, it was just a platform to encourage people to pursue their passions and to not let excuses or self-doubt get into the way. Put yourself first, pursue your passion, and then you can deal with the aftermath later. Because I always watch people on, say, YouTube and Facebook, build these communities. And I thought, wow, that's really positive, and it inspired me. So then I thought, okay, well, I can't easily get on the radio. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start my own Facebook radio.
Yeah.
So, lots of opportunities came out of it. But what I did was I interviewed a lot of inspirational people that inspired me. And I asked them to explain about their journey and their process of getting to where they eventually got to.
Yeah.
And it was just, it yeah, it was just really inspiring.
It's really inspiring because people always think, oh, they see that person out there and they're doing so well, but there's always a journey. There's always a story behind it. They didn't just pop up one day and go, hi, I'm famous, or I'm rich, or I'm really doing well in my business over here. There's always a story behind it.
Exactly.
And it's good. I mean, I suppose the point of this podcast too is to tell people's story, encourage other people that you don't have to always be in the same industry. You can always change, or you can see other people that look like you doing whatever industry you want to be in. So, yeah.
Because even yourself, Angela, like I looked at your podcast and I was immediately wowed by it because I just felt you just went for it and you were really busy. I always see on your socials, you're always doing something, but you still had time to continue on that creative journey and share inspirational stories with your audience, and that's what people want to see. And people are always encouraged to see other people doing well, and it might spark something in them to actually pursue something that they've been putting on the back burner for a while. So I want to have my podcast out there so then I can interview people like you and inspire as many people as I can.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because one of my other goals is to be a motivational speaker. So I like to motivate and inspire whenever I can.
I think you're doing it through this podcast already, but
thank you.
I think you should. I know you're going to 100% go for that. It's just, again, how do you do all this? Because you have got, you're busy. You got a family, you got a job, and you do all these creative things in between. So it's just.
So I just make time for it, because you always make time or find time for the things that matter the most, and that's what I've always tried to do. If I've got downtime, I make the most of it, because I have this mantra that nobody knows tomorrow. Not to be pessimistic, but I can't rely that tomorrow will come. So if I can do what I can do today,
sure,
just get it done.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mine is I always say tomorrow is never promised.
Exactly.
And it's it makes you feel like so sad sometimes because you really don't know. So try and do what you need to do today. But obviously we're planning for our future too at the same time. So we have to do that, providing for our families, or whoever's got around us. But tomorrow's never promised. But do as much as you can today and get it out there.
It's just, I try at the moment, because I've got this book in mind, I'm actually writing a new poem every week. So I've set myself that target. So every week. So I don't know. Who knows? We might.
Oh, Mike, why don't you do a poem about this podcast?
Poem about the podcast. Creatives like us.
Well, you've been to Creatives Like Us events.
Yes.
And you've been to, and you've on this podcast.
They're awesome, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So should have another one coming up soon. Well, obviously, we'll keep them going.
Yeah.
But you could do Creatives Like Us event or podcast, something around.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we're talking about, we're getting black people, black creatives together, working on their business. So maybe around something like that. Yeah, not putting you on the spot or anything, but
I might not write it right now because I need to think about it. But if I'm lucky enough to speak at your next event, I will have.
Would you like to speak at the next event?
100% I would. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fantastic! Because I don't know if this is on the record or we're filming, but we actually had a meeting this week and we was asking the next steps because we got feedback from people, and we actually said we're creating a community. Why don't we ask people within our community to actually speak next? So we're going to ask. We're going to put it out there and
sign me up.
Yeah?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Whenever you need someone to speak, or someone who needs someone to speak, ring me.
Perfect. All right.
I'll be there. Because genuinely, if I could write the script of my life for the next 20 years, it would be to speak for a living every single day. I love speaking.
So that was going to be my one of my next questions was what is the future, and if there's something that you'd like to work with, or who you would like to work with, or something you'd like to do, it's your chance to manifest, put it out there in the world. What is your dream next steps for the future?
So my dream, intention, pursuit, and future reality is to be an international motivational speaker. And I will speak about anything that inspires me. I will do TED Talks. I will go into schools. I will go into universities, and I will go into businesses. I will speak during Black History Month and every other month.
Yeah, cool. Very good.
I will talk about my book. I will talk about making money online, and I will try and inspire the next generation because they are our future leaders.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's enough people who look like you and I inspiring the next generation. There is, it saddens me a bit when I think of everything that they've gone through over the last few years and how bleak things look sometimes when you think about the environment, what they've had to suffer with COVID and lockdown. That's it's had a permanent effect on people. Not even to mention how disastrous the last government were, and all these things kind of like knock your confidence about the future. And sometimes people can think, what's the point? And I want to reignite hope and tell them actually, where there's a will, there's a way. So don't give up hope. Put the past behind you and walk that new path to the future because the future can be bright.
100%. Yeah. And also, we're really, blessed to be where we are. We're living, we're breathing. And if you can do that through your speaking and inspire the next generation, that would be, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, definitely. Because honestly, like I said, I spoke, I mentioned I spoke to in my little girl's school, but I actually spoke in my little boy's nursery as well.
Oh.
And I can't tell you, it warmed my heart. Just how happy they were just to hear me read poetry.
Yeah.
And it was just,
also,
it was amazing.
They're also nursery age is such a young age that they're just like, they'll take everything in and just enjoy everything. Yeah. And you just think, I wish you could stay like this and just enjoy it. And yes, what we're doing, we're trying to inspire them to stay like that. And
definitely.
But as you said, there's so many things going on outside of the world that just, it's quite tricky for them to be positive all the time. But hopefully you can spread that through your talking and speaking.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. So I just want to over the next few months, going into next year and beyond, I just want to do as many podcasts and talks as I can. Yeah. Just to get the message out there.
You can apply to TED Talks.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course you can. There's local ones, so there's always local areas. I'm sure there's even one local in East London somewhere. Or
I need to do that.
Yeah. I know that Vanessa's been on one and she did one locally. So, okay. So you can...
Have you done one?
No.
Okay. Would you like to? Or?
I prefer to speak on panels, should I say, because I don't want to have that whole... spotlight on me.
Okay.
Even though this podcast is mainly me most of the time.
Yeah.
But up on a stage, and also I'd think my memory, but I remember my lines and I'd get nervous about that. But I think all those things are training. And I maybe have not invested enough time in that training because funny enough, one of the guests of this season is a gentleman called Festus, and he's a very good public speaker, and he's just amazing, and off the cuff, and like he's just like bam, bam, bam. He'll do his talk, and then he'll still just add some little sprinkles in there, and I just think, how do you do that?
Practice.
And it is, and he said it's practice. He said you do the first one, then you do the second one, get some help, and just keep going, and then you're done. You just keep going.
Because my
and
vision...
it's not being cocky. Sorry, just to interrupt. It's not being cocky because sometimes he might come across as like, oh, this, that, and the other. It's not like that at all. It's more so confidence. I call it
100%.
I call it confidence. Yeah.
The thing is, I know some people say there's a fine line, but the thing is, there's nothing wrong with confidence because the audience that you're normally talking to are inspired by that confidence. So, why be shy about it? You know what you're about. You are personally inspired by whatever your history is, and you're just sharing with other people so they can have a taste.
That's a good take on it. Because, but when you start, especially when I started this podcast, like, well, who's going to listen to this? Why would they listen to this? All those doubts in your head. And then once you get, again, it's just practice. Once you get going and start listening back to your voice, and you think, actually, it's all right. That's a good episode. And then you get the comments from people, so you just got to keep going. And it's just, and again, as you said, you don't know who you're going to inspire along the way. And again, people sometimes write in, sometimes they don't, or they might send a DM or something. But either way, if I feel like I've inspired somebody, or you have in this episode, I'm just like, I'm happy. We've done our bit.
Yeah, no, you're right. And yeah, during the opposite of regret era, I actually went on a couple of radio stations as well.
Oh, did you?
Which was, again, absolutely loved it. So it's, again, something I'm going to pursue as well.
So when you're on the, sorry to interrupt,
I've got a voice for radio.
You have got a voice for radio. When you're on the radio stations, was it them interviewing you, or was you doing the podcast on the radio?
Oh no, they were interviewing me. So they were finding out about my process and how I came about creating the show and what inspires me and what I plan to do in the future. So yeah, it was nice.
Perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good.
So is there anything else you'd like to add? So I'm going to end up with a roundup question. So is there anything, if there's some topics you want to do, we can do it now.
I just wanted to say, in terms of me personally, everyone's different, but for me, one of my biggest sources of inspiration growing up was my mum, because she largely raised us. There's five of us. She largely raised us as a single mum. I've got a stepdad now, and he's amazing. But for the formative years of my life, my mum just really inspired me, because she was a nurse, and she worked a lot of long hours. But before she was a nurse, she took the decision to train, which took her 3 years in total. And people said she was crazy. You've got these young kids.
Got the family.
Why are you training right now? You're not making any money. But she said, no, I know why I'm doing this, because I'm investing in the future, and the future is going to be bright. Once I finish my training, I'm going to be a qualified nurse, and it's it's a good career. And she did that whilst having 5 kids, and yeah, I just think she's amazing.
Amazing.
And so I just think, if you're looking for inspiration, look for the people around you, and there should be someone in your life that inspires you. And another source of inspiration was teachers that I had in school that noted my skill or talent for writing, and just encouraged me and said, Celestine, you're good at this. Pursue it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's amazing you had the teachers at the time to actually say that to you. We know sometimes the education system sometimes doesn't favour certain brown boys, black boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. And you've done it throughout your career, and you're doing it creatively now.
Yes, exactly.
And,
that's my pursuit.
Yeah.
Because the dream is full time.
Brilliant.
That's the dream.
Brilliant.
So, God willing.
Brilliant. So to end on a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
What would you tell your future self? No, sorry, I'm going to say it again. What would you tell your teenage self?
I would tell my teenage self, publish sooner. Don't wait for this magic moment in the future when you're, comfortable, when you've got so much time in your hands, when you're in the right space of mind. No, get these 40 or 30 poems that you have already at such a young age, and just publish them. And also invest in Bitcoin. Lots and lots of money.
Invest in Apple.
Yeah. Invest in Apple as well. Yeah, definitely. Google. Don't forget Google.
And buy a property when you're really young.
Yes, exactly.
And don't sell it.
Yes, all good
Oh,
advice.
God, all those things. Like, you remind me of that film, Back to the Future. I was watching that at the weekend, actually, Back to the Future 3.
Yes.
When he went back, was it Big? He had somebody was telling him about
the playbook.
He had the playbook.
Yes.
And he had to work out the bets. He was going to make $1 million. I was that's what we need. Can we invent one of those?
Imagine. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, quick fire 5 questions.
Okay.
One or the other.
Yep.
Crisp or chocolates?
Chocolates all day. All day.
Book or Kindle?
I would say books, because I don't actually... Oh, no. Do I own a Kindle? No, I don't.
It's gathering dust somewhere. Books.
Books.
Beach or forest?
Beach.
Great.
Yep.
Reggae or soul?
Reggae or soul. Both if I could, but reggae.
Cool. Patty or sandwich?
Patty. Yeah, pattern.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Celestine. When we tell people where they can find you and they want to connect with you, how would they do that?
Oh, lots of ways.
I will put them in the show notes.
I've got too many socials. So I've got a few channels. But the main one is, I'm on LinkedIn. So just search for me, Celestine Ekpenyong. I'm on LinkedIn. But also you can find me on 50 Before 50. And that is on Instagram. I'm going to be setting up a TikTok, so look out for that. But also I've got another channel for inspiring people to have new ideas on how to make money online. And that's called The Prince of Ideas. So I am the Prince of Ideas.
Wow.
I know we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about that.
But we can talk about that in the second session.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll be back again.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Or you can tell us about the Creators Like Us event.
Yes, exactly.
But they can find you all those places, and I'll put the links in the show notes. So
brilliant.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for listening to Creatives Like Us. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. That's how we build our communities and amplify our voices. You can find all the show notes and the links at lionscreative.co.uk podcast, and connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'd love to see you there. Also, make my day if you can leave a review or comment in your listening platform choice. And it's really easy in Spotify. Leave it in the comments. Until next time, keep creating and keep supporting creatives like us. See you next time. Bye.